Hello everyone, today I am going to start a new chapter, that is Bombay to Bangalore, chapter number 3, page number 24, and this story is written by, let's see at the end of the story, it is written by Sudha Murthy, abridged and adapted. That means this story is not so small, it is a big story, but it is adapted and abridged. Okay. So, let's start to read. It was the beginning of summer. I was boarding the Udayan Express at Gulbarg railway station. So, it is quite clear that in the season of summer, the author, it is written in first person narrative, that is in I. Okay. So, the author was going to board a train. That was Udayan Express. And she was going to board train from Gulbarga railway station. My destination was Bangalore, so they were going to Bangalore. While boarding, I saw that the second class reserved compartment was jam-packed with people. Jam-packed, that was full of people. The second class compartment was so full of people, so packed with people. I sat down and was pushed to the corner of the berth. So she was pushed by the people at the corner. Excuse me. Though it was meant for 3 people, there were already 6 of us sitting on it. So the accommodation was for 3 people, but there were sitting 6 people in one single berth. So how much congested it was, we can guess. The ticket collector came in and started checking people's tickets and reservations. So it is the duty of the ticket collector to come and check the people's tickets and reservation, whether they had the reservations or not. Often you have traveled by train and you have noticed that. He looked in my direction and asked, "What about your ticket?" So that little girl was with her family or not, let's see. "I have already shown you my ticket," I said. So the author said that she had shown him her ticket. Sir. "Not you, madam, the girl hiding below your berth. Hey, come out, where is your ticket?" Oh, that means the author is big here, and she's telling about some girl who is hiding below the berth of the author. "Hey, come out, where is your ticket?" So the ticket collector asked about the ticket of that little girl who was hiding below the berth of the author. Okay. I realized that someone was sitting below my berth. So the author realized it later. Hearing the collector yelling at her, the girl came out of hiding. So the collector was shouting at her, and hearing that shout, the little girl came out of the below of the berth, from the below of the berth. She was thin, dark, scared. That means she was afraid. She was thin, not so heavy girl, a child, and dark in color, and she was afraid and looked like she had been crying profusely. So it was quite clear from her appearance that she had cried a lot. She must have been about 13 or 14 years old. So her age was about 13 or 14 years. She had uncombed hair and was dressed in a torn skirt and blouse. So that girl was in a distressed condition. It was quite clear from the appearance of that girl. She was trembling and folded both her hands. The collector started forcibly pulling her out from the compartment. So she was suddenly I had a strange feeling. So the author felt something. What did she feel? I stood up and called out to the collector. Author stood out and she called the collector, ticket collector. "Sir, I will pay for her ticket." So she felt for that child that somehow she was in a distressed condition and there is some problem with her, and feeling that, she decided to pay the ticket of fare of that child, I said. Then he looked at me and said, Madam, if you give her 10 rupees, she will be much happier with that than with the ticket. So the ticket collector said, uh, then he looked at me, the ticket collector looked at the author and he told that if you give her that rupee, she will be more helpful for that. I did not listen to him. I told the collector to give me a ticket to the last destination, Bangalore, so that the girl could get down wherever she wanted. So up to the last destination, she brought the ticket for that girl. So where she want to get down, she can go. Slowly, she started talking. That girl started to talk with the author. She told me that her name was Chitra. So the name of that distressed girl was Chitra. She lived in a village near Bidar. So Bidar is a place, the name of a place, and she lived there. Her father was a coolie. Coolie, you know, those who carry the luggages of the persons, or somehow they carry some loads or go to place to supply that. And she had lost her mother at birth. So when she was born, her mother was died on that point of time. Her father had remarried and had two sons with her stepmother. So she had two stepbrothers. A few months ago, her father had died. So it was so depressing, so distressing for her that her world was shattered to pieces because she lost her mother at the very beginning of her life and she lost her father too, and there was no one to take care about her. Her stepmother started beating her often and did not give her any food. So that was very sad. Stepmothers also always, not always, sometimes they behaved so ruthlessly with the stepson or daughters. She was tired of that life. She didn't want that kind of life. She was quite tired with that. She was quite distressed with that. She did not have anybody to support her, so she left home in search of something better. So she was in a very distressed condition and she was not in a mentally stable condition, and that's why in a disgust she left her home and came out to search something better for her. Somehow she decided to search a job and where she could live and spend her life. By this time the train had reached Bangalore. I said goodbye to Chitra and got down from my tree. So that was quite a sad point of the story because her rescuer was going to leave her. My driver came and picked up my bags. So the driver of the author came to the station and he picked the bags or luggages of the author. I feel someone watching me. Then I feel that someone is watching the author from the distance. When I turned back, I saw Chitra standing there. So the girl didn't left the station. She was there, still there, and standing and watching the author from a distance, looking at me with sad eyes. So she was watching the author with very sad eyes because she thought, what did I say to you earlier, that her rescuer was going to leave her. But there was nothing more that I could do. I had paid her ticket out of compassion, but I had never thought that she was going to be my responsibility. So that was not in the mind of the author. She didn't decided before that she is going to take the responsibility of the girl. But the girl thought that might be the author is taking her with her. I told her to get into my car. Then the author decided something and she told her to get into with her in her car. My driver looked at the girl curiously. So the driver was quite curious that he didn't know that child. I told him to take us to my friend Ram's place. Ram ran separate shelter homes for boys and girls. So Ram is a person who runs separate shelter homes for the distressed persons, boys and girls. Okay, we at the Infosys Foundation supported him financially. So the author was working in Infosys Foundation, that we came to know here. I thought Chitra could stay there for some time and we could talk about her future after I came back from my tours. So she decided to took Chitra to that home and take her there and left her there when while she was going to tour, because she was going to some tour, and when she will come back from the tour, Chitra will be safe there. So when I came back, I went to the shelter. Shelter, that means the home which was for the homeless boys and girls run by Mr. Ram. I was not sure if Chitra would even be there. But to my surprise, I saw Chitra looking much happier than before, because she had found some shelter for her, where there were many boys and girls like her, and she could spend some time with them, and she could find more happier place than her home. Okay, so that is why she was there, still there. And it was quite surprising to the author also, because she thought that Chitra might not be there and she had left that home before she came. So that was not going to happen, and Chitra was still there, supposedly that she was waiting for her. Ram suggested that Chitra could go to a high school nearby. So they decided to send Chitra to a school. I immediately agreed and said that I would sponsor her expenses as long as she continued to study. So that was quite kind to the author, that she decided to sponsor the child, and she want to take the responsibility of the child, how far she want to study. So that was quite a good luck for that child also, that she at last find some shelter, some good persons, those who can take care of that girl. I left the shelter knowing that Chitra had found a home and a new direction in her life, because she was quite distressed in a condition, and she was not in a condition to continue her study where she had lived with her stepmother. Rather, she was beaten there. And when she is finding a new house or a new shelter for her, or she could find a new sphere of life where she can study, where she can thought of her career, where she can build her career rather. So it was a good opportunity for Chitra, isn't it? I got busier and my visits to the shelter reduced to 1 year. So the author got visits once a year. So the author was quite busy a person, it seems to us, and she could visit the shelter where Chitra was lived. So it may be possible for her to visit that place once in a year. But I always inquired about Chitra's well-being over the phone. But she was quite concerned about the child's well-being, and she know that how to take care about the child, and she was quite responsible a person. That is why she always take the well-beings about her study, about her livings by phone. She didn't leave that child so desolately on that house where she could only study and live. It seemed to Chitra, rather it could seem to Chitra that the person is with her all the time. I knew that she was studying well and that her come to the next page, that her progress was good. So she came to notice that she was progressing good. Okay, so we are leaving up to here today. In page number 26, progress was good. Up to here I am leaving today. In my next class I will continue the story. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.